Welcome to PaiBox Insights. I'm here with Sherry Lee, CEO and founder of PaiBox. Sherry, you run a real estate fund. You have a property management team. What was that moment, that aha moment when you said there has to be a better way?
Well, I think there hasn't been an aha moment.
Not one single aha moment. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a multiple years of understanding the repeated problem, is repeated pattern. So in 2018, I started C-Star after 10 years on Wall Street investing in real estate. I already know that rental property is probably the last sector to be institutionalized because the operation complexity is huge,
Right.
and it's just a lot of works to do and the frictions of the management. So we think about starting technology company in 2018, and we started to build up something fully integrated for our operation platform.
Right. So you built for your team, right?
Yes.
You needed some tools to do this better, and you started with your team.
Yeah, so we do investment, but we feel like operation is ultimate layer of the quality of the assets.
Yeah.
And the technology can be the breakthrough.
Yeah.
So we started to build in 2019 for the technology platform. And in 2020, we internalized the property management, and we take on the responsibilities with in-house capacity. And 2024, AI agent just reemerge, and we kind of feel like this is a good opportunity. This can do a lot of things with human manual works. So we build a workflow first, and then we pull in the AI agent to apply to where it really fits.
Right. Got it. So it's one of those it's an overnight success.
Yeah.
10 years in the making kind of thing, right? So
Right.
it's the slow and steady progress. So you basically, when you brought the property management function in-house and then started creating workflows, you feel like that set the groundwork though, right? So that once AI agents emerged and this new capability, you already had the operational experience and the workflow tools that could then plug into AI agents. Is that a fair sort of summary of the journey that you've been on to create PaiBox?
Yeah, I think it's a totally different way of a lot of Silicon Valley companies doing is they have AI agent first, and they're looking for scenarios or workflows they can apply to. But we have the workflow first because we already own the property. We operate the property. We know the pinpoints. And now how we can utilize AI agent to help us better.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's so crucial, right? We talk a lot about like Silicon Valley tech bros. I do, with all due respect to them. People coming in with a technology looking for a problem, and that has happened a lot in prop tech, right? Like when we think about the history of various technologies coming into real estate over the last 10, 15 years, sort of a hammer looking for a nail. And I think what the part of the reason that companies that come from industry like PaiBox do so well is you've lived the pain points, you understand the workflows, you've seen, instead of saying we have this AI agent, how could we use it in this industry? It's like, we have this industry that we operate in and we're very proficient in. How could we use AI agents to
Make it better.
To make it better.
Sure.
Right.
I think, we picked the area, repair and rehabs, because this is probably the most challenging part in property management. Not only because it costs the most, it's probably, compared to other aspects of leasing, renewal, rent collections, you spend more time, you spend more money on rehabs and repairs, and it's the workflow is just a lot of non-linear and hiccups. So such as, people think about repairs is just 3 steps. It's get a vendor, get a quote, get the job done. But in reality, it never happened this way.
Yeah.
So it's always like, the tenant's not home. Vendor didn't show up. And always rescheduling, the scope of work needs to be changed and I need to order another parts and come back again. And things like that always happens. Just never after the first visit, things stay the same.
Yeah.
So we understand this, and we think that that's majority of the time property managers spend. It's probably 80% of your job, spent on this time. So we think that's the most challenging part. And another challenging is the communication friction. It could be multiple media, multiple channels between a vendor and the property manager and the tenant. It could be text messages, sometimes phone calls, emails, attachment, a PDF, QR code or property management softwares. It's just a here and there, and you cannot synchronize timeline updates or synchronize the communications in a uniformed workflow process.
Right. And that's, we know from property managers, they spend a lot of time, increasingly a lot of time these days, in email, in text message, phone calls, chasing people, running across, oh my goodness, when's the tenant going to be home? When's the vendor going to show up? That sort of, there's a lot of opportunities for optimizing those workflows, right?
Right.
Making it more streamlined that we could actually get from step 1, step 2, step 3, right? Wouldn't that be a dream?
That's what the current property management software can do, is follow the generic steps, but it cannot capable of dealing with any edge cases, such as, coordinations, handling the, something that's happened not supposed to be, but just the not smooth transaction.
Right. Well, and that's a good point, right? Like when you think about the software that's out there, because there's property management software, it's more about keeping track of the to-dos versus actually doing things, right? So when you said like the 3 steps, like find a vendor, get a quote, get the job done, like, yes, those are the steps at a very high level, but there's so much work that goes in between each of those, like going out and scouting vendors and qualifying them and communicating with them and then receiving the quotes and then making the selection and then getting everybody to site and getting the job done. Like there's so much in between each of those points that exists in the real world, right?
Right.
So, and that's why understanding the workflows is so important, right?
That's true.
So every startup sort of has, I think, sort of a founding insight, right? Something that others have overlooked. So what is it about property management and property operations that you think others have overlooked and will make PaiBox successful?
Well, definitely, I think the truth we built PaiBox is on the workflow understanding, like we said, and that's really important because a lot of startup companies build from outside in, and they never live in the frictions to understand why this procedure A, B, and C and not B and C. That's definitely something that we understand, and then we can bring this job easier through technology. So based on workflow and then apply technology. So when AI agent emerged in 2024, our approach is to pull in the technology, not for the purpose of the technology, but pull in the technology for the workflow, and then only fits in where it can truly create value for us. And second, I think a lot of technology softwares trying to change the behavior. They don't want to adapt it to people's behavior, but people has to be adjusted to them. So that's something that, leading to learning curves, the training times, is a lot of frictions, is even some types of frustration.
Yeah.
But PaiBox never intend to do something like that because we are operator. We want this software to be valuable for us.
Yeah.
And our purpose is to make our job easier.
Interesting.
So that's something that I think PaiBox can really, create values from our background.
I think that's such a great point, right? How we've all probably unfortunately been around long enough to see multiple companies come out and big promises and stuff, but then it's like, oh, change the way you work, right? We could do stuff if you change the entire way you work, and customers aren't going to do that, especially in this industry, right? We spend a lot of time this year talking to GMs and CEOs and owners of property management companies around the country, and they are busy. They don't have enough staff, right? They have they have tenants that need stuff fixed. They have owners that expect the highest level of service for their properties. And so to come in and be like, oh, hey, guess what? The way that you and every other property management company work, change how you work so that you can use our software. Like, come on, right? So I think that's such a good point that you bring up, Shirley. But just that's maybe a great transition to the last question I wanted to ask, which was, how has having that in-house property management team, how has that shaped and formed and informed what PaiBox has become today? Because it sounds like it's a lot. It's a major factor, right?
I think so. I think why PaiBox exists is only because we are operators at the first place, and all the pinpoints, every features can reflect every single pinpoints we have. And another perspective from the technology's application is, our property management company is our first customer, and it's our test ground basically. And the benefit is basically when we created this product and then we let them use first, and they tell us daily basis, very frequent communications between property managers and engineers sitting together, basically. Hey, Jason, can you just add a feature of this so the button can be more fluid? Something like that always happens. So the iteration can be quicker because we're just one team.
Yeah, I think that's such a huge advantage, right? So many companies I've been involved with or advised or other things have like a good understanding of the industry, but they don't have that ability to sort of use it in-house with their own team. And I think that's just what a valuable training ground or testing ground you've had for PaiBox. I'm biased, but that's one of my favorite parts of the PaiBox story. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
And we're going to wrap it there. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes of PaiBox Insights. Thanks.